I turned the audio on. Hey, Brad, Adam, Blair, what's up? The Derby was happening today, but oh no, Brad, you retracted something. This damn thing's hot. Hello, Cat 3. Darren Burroughs, hello. Woo! We went and seen Doctor Strange today, and it was pretty good. Definitely, if you hadn't seen it, Sam Raimi's fingerprints are all over it. It's pretty good. I liked it. Oh, my eyes look horrible. Hey, Texas. Let's see. Oh. So, some people may be interested in this. I was until I saw the price, but Dana got it. You could go to Target. We found this at Target. The NECA figures, but they're like $70. It's like $75 with tax. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 4K. That's interesting. The Green Cow. Oh. It's burning up back in here. So I was off Friday because where I work, Derby is going on here in Louisville, and basically half the people probably wouldn't show up for Friday for some reason. I guess there's something called the Oaks. I guess it's another horse race. I don't know what the deal is, but either way, I had to take off, and I watched a movie, a Joe Sarno movie. I guess he might have done some porn. I'm not big on him, but I think I have a documentary about him somewhere. But it was called Vampire Ecstasy, and it was quite something. I'll be honest, I mean, all the locations and stuff, these castles and stuff, whatever, looked amazing. I mean, it looked great. And there's tons of nude women, but they were like doing, the head of this place was like she wasn't that pretty, but she was doing like a belly dance or something, and it was very distracting with the other they were not vampires. They were trying to resurrect a vampire. None of them had vampire teeth. But a lot of nudity, a lot of candle insertion, but they don't show it. And like a real big phallic thing that I don't know, but anyway, there's some hot chicks in there. There's like 2 super hot chicks, but anyway. The Seventh Curse, I think I've seen some of it. It was on Amazon. I mean, it looked pretty good. I think Chow Yun-Fat's in that one. I would bet it's going to be decent. Bad Apples. I did. I got the Armor of God, the Jackie Chan movie, like special edition. It was on Amazon US. A seller in the UK was selling it for like $30. Or actually it was $27 plus $3 shipping from the UK. So $30. Of course it's region 2 or B. But who cares? I got region free. Lost Boys and Dawn. Yeah, I like all kinds of different ones, but it is what it is. And well, let me personal life stuff here. It's fun. I got a text message. Due to part shortage, I'm laid off this coming week, so I'll have a little extra time to watch movies. The only good part of it is that I got paid 3 times last month or something, or this month, I can't remember. But either way, I'm ahead of my bills, so I won't. Long as we not another week, I'll be fine. But at least I will file for unemployment, because what the hell. But I guess, bar any more comments or something, we talk about some, since it's May of the Dead, I'll do a little theme thing for a bit about the, kind of, I don't know if European zombie movies or whatever you want to call them. I know some of these are not really Italian. Ooh. As you say, Darren, that sounds brilliant. I will have to look into that one. Smile of the Fox. Well, thanks, Cat 3. I don't know if I'll be up for that. I thought Halfway to Black Friday was a while back. I don't know. They keep changing it. Was it Halfway to Halfway Black Friday? Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Also, with me being, I don't know. I think that comes up at in the end of May. I don't know. Honestly, anymore, if I'm up, looks like it's going to be on a Friday, I assume. I think it's the 27th or something. But if it's like that Thursday night or something, there's no freaking way I'm going to be up. But have a favorite Corey Feldman movie? Wow, that's kind of random. I think he's weird, so I'm not really a big fan of his. I think he's strange. And he's got a lot of enablers that lets him be strange. I don't know. Stand By Me or something, but I don't know. We'll see, Cat 3. We'll see. The only thing bad about it is a weekend I'm not going to the gym, so in theory I don't have to get up early, but that's not the. Yeah, but they're gonna have some dumb mystery movies that you don't know what you're getting. I'm not buying a movie that I don't know what it is, because it could be some really random dog shit, and I'm not about to spend $27 or more on some random stuff. But I mean, I'm still waiting on my Thriller: A Cruel Picture 4K coming in, so hopefully they'll ship those out at some point soon. But talking about zombie movies, one of the best, and I guess it's a new a non-steelbook release from Synapse. You can get the Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. Yes, Brent, I probably have seen if you're talking about the Italian Stallion, I probably have seen that many years ago. I'm not a big Deadly Spawn guy, so I mean, I've seen it, and for what it was, it's pretty cool, but I'm not too I could take it or leave it. But definitely, I'm sure most people have seen Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, but if you haven't, definitely get it. It's one of the. It's by a Spanish director in England, and it's definitely killer. Well, I guess I'll get it one day, one of these days. Cat 3. That's one of the things when you buy from these sales and from these places that the shipping is like you're either going to get it a month later or maybe even more because of you didn't buy the super duper package. What did I think of Zedder? That's a movie that I'm not a big fan of, only because of the non-ending. There's not a non-ending. I mean, to me, I don't see an ending there, and that kind of pisses me off. Everything else is really cool about the movie. And I have the poster of whatever it's called, like Revenge of the Dead or Revenge of the Living Dead or something. I have the poster of that, which the poster is really cool, but really doesn't fit the movie, in my opinion. Well, I'm just looking at a website for these titles, but Zombie. I mean, obviously that's one everybody has seen. The last Blu-ray of that and the 4K that came out from Blue Underground are really super. I don't think you can get any better looking. And I hadn't seen that in a while, but I think I'm going to wait a little while longer before I rewatch it. Do I have a dog over here? Reg, what are you doing? You want back outside, don't you? Come up here. Come up here. This is Reg. Talk to him, Reg. What you got to say? Say something, Reg. Oh. You got bad breath, Reg. You want outside? I'll take you outside. You can go outside. Reg. Reg. Go. Hey, Chris V. Yeah, Brent. Amityville Horror. To be honest, I'm more interested in like the documentaries and stuff of that. If you haven't seen it, there's one that one of the kids, all grown up, who he seems to come off as a little messed up. My Amityville Horror is good. Whoa! Am I going to get some money, or is it going to do the thing? I don't think it's going to do the thing. Thank you, Eerie Guts. I'm sure the boss is going to like that. But anyway. Dr. Butcher MD, which Zombie Holocaust, kind of comes off to me like a zombie ripoff. Little girl. But, I don't know if I've ever seen the just the zombie or the Dr. MD or Dr. Butcher MD cut. If I have, it's probably just been once. I've seen the other a lot more. Erotic Nights of the Living Dead. If you haven't seen this one, it's pretty good. Well, Brent, he likes to eat poop too, so I think he goes out and searches for what's left out in the yard. And that's why his breath is so bad. But anyway, he just wants to go out. He loves outside. But Joe D'Amato directed it, obviously. It's got Laura Gemser in it. But there's some porn stuff in it that's pretty. There's one girl who goes down, not with her mouth, on a champagne bottle, and then it either she takes the cork out with her yaya, or it pops automatically from all the hot action. You want outside, Brink? You want outside? I don't know. Well, anyway, I got that a long time ago when it first came out on DVD, and it was quite surprising. I mean, I just didn't think of anything like that. Also, Porno Holocaust is another one that's pretty. It's got this Mark Shannon guy or something like that. I think something like that. He's in a bunch of porn over there in Italy at that time, and he looks like he has like genital warts or something, and he's like getting these chicks, and they go for an extended porn scene, which is not pleasant. And I don't know if anybody else is a big fan, but of Zombie 3. I'm a big fan of Zombie 3. I mean, obviously, it's part like Fulci and Bruno Mattei, maybe, or maybe I'm getting some other the other director confused, but anyway, I kind of liked it. Definitely tons better than Zombie 4. I rewatched that and I was like, damn, that is awful. Hey, we got like 20. Well, we did have 23 watching, and somebody decided to get the fuck off. I guess I might be shitty. No. I'm not a whatchamacallit, a classic porn aficionado. One I really want to get, and there's a Blu-ray out, is Cemetery Man, or Della Morte. That's a hell of a movie. To me, that's one of the last great Italian horror films. And also, I mean, speaking of Shudder, they were showing Black Sunday last night on the Joe Bob's Last Drive-In, and I didn't watch it because I don't know. To me, 9:00 at night's late anymore. So I'll watch it later. Well, I started watching Anthropophagus from the previous week. Coincidentally directed by Joe D'Amato, and I hadn't watched that in a long time, so I need to finish that one up. Yeah, probably is. It probably is Cat 3. I mean, I've got a rip of an HD one and it looks alright to me. Yeah. Ooh, that's gross, Brent. It probably was. What's the scariest movie of all time? Well, they did some scientist or something did something about, I guess, maybe your heart rate or something. I don't know, you probably saw it on Facebook like I did. And they said the host, which I'm assuming is they're talking about the Korean monster movie. But to me, I think, one of the scariest movies I've seen was, well, I guess it could be a couple different ones, but the last one really scared the shit out of me was the original, Conjuring, because that I screamed in the theater and jumped and everything like crazy. So I mean, it just depends. I mean, also when I first watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a kid, that was just, that's everybody's nightmare, is getting chased by a maniac like that. Damn. But also on Shudder is they look at cursed movies, and they have yeah, The Exorcist is probably. I mean, obviously, it's on the top of the list for a lot of people. Hey, Jared or J Rock. No, hold on, dogs. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The original Salem's Lot, I watched that as a kid back in like 80, 79, 80, and I couldn't go to sleep. So, beaches. Who's coming in? Hey. Going out? Oh. Reg. Ugh. X-ray. But cursed films on Shudder, they had a thing episode on Cannibal Holocaust, and they talked to pretty much I guess all the surviving stars of it and stuff. Apparently that wasn't a pleasant shooting environment, and so you have to see it for yourself. I watched the one for Stalker, which is a Russian movie, and I want to watch it but the thing is, it's a freaking long. They actually have a HD copy on YouTube. Someone put up, but it is on Shudder. At least it was the last time I checked. The Changeling, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't get scared a whole lot anymore, but with the, I did get scared off of the Conjuring. Saved by the Bell, yeah. Saved by the Bell. Also, there's one. It's not really a zombie movie, but it kind of is. Graveyard Disturbance, and I don't think there's a really good looking version of it. It's probably on YouTube, if maybe. I mean, it's not. I mean, really, it looks horrible because it's like, I don't even know if I would call it third generation VHS or something quality, but it looks fun. I wish somebody would maybe find a good copy of that and put it out. I can't recall if it was a TV movie or not, but if it was, maybe it's definitely got a lot to it. I wouldn't mind seeing that or buying that on a cleaned up version. Yeah, Blair Witch. Yeah, when I saw the Blair Witch, I mean, obviously there was. I don't know if I thought it was real. I think I kept on hearing it was fake to begin with. But the ending of it is definitely kind of startling and scary. And I remember when at the ending, when it went off, it felt cold. It felt like the whatever it was. Can I do a quint? I don't know how to. I don't remember enough of that movie to do one. Sorry, Blair. We're gonna need a bigger boat. I don't know. I don't watch that movie a lot. I don't think I've seen the 4K of it. Dana bought it, but I haven't watched the 4K of it yet. I watched somebody edited a version of somebody did a edit on Jaws 2, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't see anything differently or remember any additional footage, so I have to say no, it wasn't that good. I mean, as far not his qualities of cuts and the guy who made it, but that movie's not been that good to me, or good in my opinion. And then watching this edit, I didn't see anything differently to get me. Patreon, did you hear? DEADPIT on Patreon, did you hear? We're getting big news. We are critiquing Headband Garrett's ranking of Friday the 13th franchise this coming Friday. That's world announcement news. Hey, Red. Oh, yeah, The Curse of the Blair Witch was almost as good as the movie. I love those kind of things. You know, it reminded me, I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy was, they actually had that, hey, Apollo. Prometheus is not, I will admit, I don't like any of these new Alien movies, but there's something about Prometheus I like. I don't know what it is, but, you know, obviously it's, the Covenant one was dog shit, in my opinion, but that Edward or Eduardo Sanchez was on that documentary on Cursed Films about a cannibal Holocaust. Okay, Wolverines! Winner chicken dinner. No, winner Sheen dinner. Yeah, the Blair Witch movie that came out a couple years ago was not bad at all. We saw it at a drive-in, which it was cool for a while, but then I don't know if it wasn't dark enough yet or something happened where I couldn't really see what the fuck was going on in like some of the other scenes. No, Crispy, I did not. I couldn't, I didn't want to spend that money. Even though I spent it on other dumb things. Yeah. It just seems like that movie had a lot more creativity versus the Covenant movie, in my opinion. But anyway, and when they in the Covenant, when they killed off that what's her name, Naomi Rosebob, whatever her fucking name is, the German lady, that was stupid. I didn't like that, and really didn't, you know, I don't know. But anyway, no, I didn't get the Wicker Man box. I had the old Wicker Man Anchor Bay box, but I actually sold it. I just thought, what the fuck? I've had it for 20, 30 years. I don't know, DEADPIT on Patreon. Maybe if the Patreon money is extra sweet this coming month, it's possible. Also, if you hadn't heard, I'm laid off this coming week, so I'm going to be a little short. Well, Red, yeah, that's weird. A TV series, but there's also a video game, and I think they might have made it for consoles too, but I don't remember. But I don't know if it sounds like something I would want to look into a whole lot. I'm not. And someone made a game. They took. Well, yeah, that's a good one, Jared. The Vitch, or I guess I need to watch that one. Maybe I'll watch that one in 4K this coming week. I didn't watch that. Nobody fired me, homeboy. I just got... we have a part shortage, and that's the bottom line. Yeah. Though I do have quite a little bit of savings, but I don't want to burn through that because I don't know if I'm hoping that this is only a week, but you never know. And I'm going to sign up for that unemployment money, that government money, so we'll see. And we're going to be covering 5 dolls for an August Moon tomorrow on our recording of the Eurocult podcast. I need to watch that, so I'll be watching that a little later tonight. Oh, yeah, Apollo. That's a great movie. I love it. If you remember back... Whoa, you guys are killing me here. Yeah. But on the Brentwood sets, I saw Messiah of Evil for the first time and really liked it. And then, obviously, I think Code Red put out a DVD and then a Blu-ray, and then they're going to put out a new Blu-ray. But, yeah, I'm a big fan of Messiah of Evil. I think it's awesome. So DeadPit on Patreon's watching Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. If you got a link for that, you might like to share it to another guy. Because I like to see that, even though I have suspicions of the quality. Chris V says I should join the stream. You and Garrett have a interesting dynamic. I have nothing against Derek. Or Garrett. I don't have anything against Derek either. I'm just goofing around. Yeah, Wicker Steve. I need to watch that Wicker Tree movie that's a some type of sequel to The Wicker Man, even though I know they can't really say it is, at least as far as just the title. But that's one of those things I may never get to. But I'm going to try to get to a couple movies this coming week. Might as well burn it up with some movies. And hey Wesley Vance, look at this. You can go down to your local Target and get that. Man, I don't know about if I can make you an offer. What y'all girls doing? I'll see it at one point in the future. Apollo's giving his ranking here. I mean, it's hard to... Definitely 8. If you're talking about the first 8, 8 is going to be the last one for sure. And it's... I found... Wow. To host Paranormal Cats. That will be cool. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but, you know. Maybe Chip will be at the... promoting that at the Scarefest and selling his scarves. He kind of looks like an old lady a little bit, if you didn't know far away. we went to a restaurant, and this lady was our waitress. Anyway, she she had tats on one arm, and she was a little bit buff. She looked like she could have been one of those, like Shanna Baszler or something. Looked like she was MMA. Of course, they got this new style haircut where they basically, if their hairline's here, they shave up about an inch or a little bit, and then it's long, but then they have this buzzed around. I mean, it's weird. A lot of the young guys and girls are getting it, mostly guys. But I think Wardlow has got it. But 27 concurrent viewers. This is an all-time high. It's a big number for us. Let me see what's going on up in here. I like new wave disco polka. Let's go look at Vinegar Syndromes. Wow, I do like the cover or the slip case or slip cover of Thriller. The pink and then the back and the front looks pretty cool. I'm very curious of how it's going to look. And then I heard that. What's the first movie you saw at a theater? That's a good question. I can't really remember. I know that we went to drive-ins because my dad put us in the trunk, me and my sister, so they didn't have to pay our admission. Chip Coffee, Brent, is the psychic. I remember seeing trying to remember. I know I saw Smokey and the Bandit 2 in a theater. I think I saw Cannonball Run in a theater, or at least Cannonball Run 2. So I did see Young Frankenstein in the theater, but I think that was a re-release sometime in the early 80s. So I one of those, I can't really remember. I don't know. I did watch something off the New York Ninja. It was like a little documentary about 40 some minutes about the movie and the star and everything. That was pretty cool. I didn't know that John Liu guy was in all these a classic kung fu movies overseas. Have I seen Smokey and the Bandit? Yep, I sure have. Probably saw it when the first VCRs came out, and then that's how I saw Star Wars and Superman the movie and Star Trek the motion picture. You had to put like a $600 check, give them like a deposit in case you ran off with it, and then you could rent the VCR for a while and a couple tapes. I'm not really seeing anything. I mean, I don't know if I'll have to wait until see what they do. They give us Psychic Kids. Yeah. They had a ton of these things, man. If you have Pluto TV, they have a paranormal channel, and they have a bunch of those, and they also have a bunch on demand of Psychic Kids and other stuff. That one dude that was like the leader of Paranormal State got arrested for some. I don't know if he stole something, but he wasn't he wasn't doing what he should. He was doing some wrong, guys. Damn. Diabolic wants $45 for the RoboCop 4K. It's the UK version, whichever. Holy shit. I think what's his face is on. If DeadPit on Patreon's here, they got Treasure of the Four Crowns 3D edition, which that movie, I got the DVD of it that came out like on a 4-pack with other movies, and that thing was crazy. Oh yeah, Blair, I remember that. They walked past us because I'm a short guy, and of course all of them are probably 6 foot or something. And I saw Zach. I'm going to have to buy that Treasure of the Four Crowns. Because and you watch it on a DVD, obviously it's not 3D, so it kind of, all the gags kind of, oh man. They came out with a regular edition of the In Search Of series, all 140 some episodes, for like $30. But apparently, I guess it's sold out on Diabolic. But man, that's a good deal because Dana, she got that as a gift for me, maybe a Christmas gift, and it was a lot more than that. I think it was almost 100. Yeah, $94 for or $95 for the Wicker Man 4K limited edition. That's a big thing to swallow. What she said. Looks like the 4K sold out of The Sadness, which is a movie I'm marking for. I think it was crazy. Yeah, I think Jared, they had mentioned that the Texas Chainsaw 2 in 4K is coming out. Oh no.
Daddy's trying to do his show now.
Who is that?
Are you going?
Know it?
Alright. I gotta close the door a little bit. Too much light coming in here.
Yeah.
Hey, where's my Dr. Loomis?
I was showing everybody.
Did you tell them what you were going to do with them?
I was going to have them 69 each other, but...
That's great.
Oh, Lori! Lori!
She killed Dr. Loomis if she did that.
Well, that's why they both got guns. You can have them have like a Mexican standoff with the guns.
And the lighter?
I don't know. You could have him have the lighter trying to light her clothes on fire. Do you want to do part of the show?
Whenever you're done.
But you probably want to do it quit early so we can watch that movie.
Yes. Is Darren in there?
Yeah. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him.
I done sprayed him once with citronella.
He said that Apollo said you have a cool shirt.
Oh, thank you. This is my new. I've got a second. Yes, her boobs are showing. I got my new Darcy Messenger.
There's a I think his name's Frostmare. Frost like a nightmare, Frostmare on YouTube. And like he has these ghost videos or paranormal videos, but he'll have streams going like I don't know how many videos in a row, but they'll be like going for like a week long video stream of these ghost stories or ghost videos.
What are you doing, Sammy? You're sad.
I'm waiting for the next Kino sale.
When are they having it?
I don't know. They just had
Check
one.
this out. Did you see this, Steve?
Huh.
They're in the hood. See, there's a bloodhound and some kind of terrier dog with hoodies.
So there is a Diabolic has the Messiah of Evil. Demons do exist. I know, dude. I know the.
Steve has to leave with one.
Yeah, I know the Kino sale just happened, but fuck, the other one just happened before that. So a Messiah of Evil limited slip cup, a slip cover, a sippy cup, and a rough cut T-shirt combo, $52.
And Steve's not gonna get it.
And then that tells me that this is just a fucking repackage.
Of course it is.
Oh, thanks, Cat 3. I knew it was just next month. Shit. So you can get a T-shirt and a slipcover for $31, $32. So it's just probably just a reprint, if you will, of that movie. I do admit that slipcover is pretty cool looking, but there's no freaking way I mean, the shirt's cool looking too, but I'm just not into getting that shirt. And then Dana's got to save up to get the Tenebrae.
Yeah, when's that coming out again?
July 26th. Curly Jaws is, what's his name? J.R. Huff Jr.
Huff or what? I don't know.
He's part of the DEADPIT universe, extended universe. Says Dana needs a New Year's Evil edition. That print is great. She has it on order. She's got it.
Yeah, I just got it not very long ago.
I mean, I don't know about that cult. Oh, you're talking about the spines. Yeah, I mean, hey. I'm trying to remember Hell High.
You told me it wasn't a very... Oh, not that movie. Okay. Oh, that's the one... Ain't that the one where, like... No, let's...
Dana doesn't... I don't think she... Sam Raimi's doing a new Evil Dead movie, that Evil Dead Rising... for HBO Max. Nah, actually, Curly Jaws lives around my area, probably in Indiana or something, I think.
Southern Indiana?
Probably. But I don't think she really knows about it yet.
I think I heard briefly about it, but I don't know a lot about it.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen Hell High. I may have to find it and preview it. Just to be on the, make sure I see what it is. What is? Has anybody tried that flaming hot Mountain Dew?
Oh, there was a guy at work that was bringing little bitty cups of
Oh.
it, and I didn't try any because I was afraid I wouldn't like it.
So what happens? You have to have another drink to cool your mouth down. You drink a little bit. What if you drink that with some flaming hot chips? Horror High is not that good. I mean, it's good as a low budget 70s kind of movie. But yeah, I have a DVD of that. Have I seen Northmen or Men yet? I have not read Red. I'll probably have to watch those at the house. I know I really want to see Northmen, but I don't want to spend 3 hours in a movie theater. But I really want to see it, but I guess I'll have to wait. Because I don't even know if it's playing, if it was playing where I was at the movie theater, but I really didn't look. Come on, stupid. I think I've seen horror. I've seen this before. What's going on?
I thought I heard a dog barking. Reggie's not doing it.
Oh, shit. Apollo, that was, I think you're talking about Gargoyles. And that came out in like 72. And it's pretty crazy special effects for that movie. I mean, practical effects, obviously. Not for the wings, demons flying, even though there is, but the actual makeup effects. Okay, Chris V. Chris V said he said it was good.
What?
The flaming Mountain Dew.
Don't get out there and stop that.
What the fuck? No, who gives a shit about America's Got Talent? You'll have to watch it because Sarah wants to watch it. I'm not a big fan of Firestarter either.
I am the original Firestarter.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Fuck yeah. Now, there is a new Firestarter coming out, but we were discussing that, John, the Evil Dead game. I was watching some stuff. Okay, Apollo. I'm not sure what it was then. But yeah, I saw some stuff about the Evil Dead game, and they're kind of making it cheaper initially, but you still gonna have to buy stuff. So I think it's like $40 for the standard version, but if you get I like this, you get you spend $60, you get the deluxe version, and you get a discount to the DLC. Well, why don't I just get the DLC for free? But anyway, speaking well, that'll be interesting. DEADPIT on Patreon, the T-shirt Joe. Hopefully he'll be as good as he was on the Friday the 13th Part 5 commentary that we did years ago. But Cat 3 might like this. Tiger Cage trilogy is coming out from 88 Films. I watched the first movie the last weekend. I thought I'd seen them, but I had not seen. If I did, I forgot about it. It was crazy as shit, as you would imagine, as far as a Hong Kong kind of action movie, but way over the top. But it was great. Maybe I'll watch the second one. But here's a really cool thing, in my opinion. Yeah, Dreamcast. No, pal. I haven't. I don't know. I'm gonna have to be frugal with money, unless you want to help out, DeadPit on Patreon. But we'll see what they got for sale. But there's a channel called the Wu-Tang Collection, I believe, on YouTube. It's got all these Asian martial arts movies. A lot of them are like really not that great. But there's one that they just added, I think it's called Crippled Masters. And it's these Chinese guys with actual deformities or handicaps fighting people. There's like one dude ain't got no legs. And there's one dude that's got like this little bitty arm that comes out to here, and he's got like 2 fingers, and he's like twisting this bow staff and stuff. Whoa, we got 30 people? 27 on my end, but either way, yeah, I definitely want to rewatch that. I used to show it on TNT back in the 90s, at least. Is the Shaw Brothers collection worth buying or waiting? Now, right now it's like $108 on Amazon, I think. And there's tons of stuff on there. I don't know if it's going to get any cheaper than that. It might, but it's definitely worth it because of how much content it's got on it. I mean, obviously, I think they're going to do another set at some point. So I would say it's worth it, and I don't know if it's going to get any cheaper. It might, but I'm sure at $108 you're still getting it around $20 cheaper than what I bought it for. So I'm actually kind of contemplating getting the Jallo Essentials 3 ones because I don't have any of these on DVD or Blu-ray rather. Smile Before Death, The Weapon, The Hour, The Motive, and The Killer Reserves 9 Seats. The only one I really remember watching is The Killer Reverse 9 Seats, which is, as far as I can remember, is pretty good. I'll need to check out the rest. Yeah, that's true. I mean, all the Miramax releases of those cut out a lot of shit. I know, DeadPit on Patreon, gotta be frugal. It would be nice if maybe like DeadPit on Patreon was less frugal with some of that multi-$100 stuff, but I'm just kidding, DeadPit on Darren's saying, have I seen the Redhead Corpse? I have it, but I can't recall how good the quality is. And I've watched a little bit of it, but I never finished it. I never really got into the movie that, as far as watching a majority of the movie. I probably watched a few minutes of it. At least as far as I can remember. The memory part is the hard part. Let me see when the Northman has not been announced as far as when it's coming out. Another one, L.A. Jabber is coming out, which, if you want to see something nuts, that's a nut movie. Well, I'm going to, let's see, DeadPit on Prey. Nobody's bought the Yummy Gummy shirt, dude. It's a loss, so that affects your pay. Everybody needs to go to DeadPit on Patreon and get the link and buy some of the Captain's Yummy Gummy shirts.
Or Steve's going to be sad.
Well, John, I mean, yeah, Black Sunday is a slow movie, but I love
I'm
it.
not the only one.
I think it's gorgeous looking in black and white.
You think Barbara Steele's gorgeous looking.
Back then, yeah. Better Fulci, Christopher V question. Psychic or Manhattan Baby? Psychic is a more... Psychic... Yeah, I mean, even though Manhattan Baby is not a complete nightmare as some of the other films that he's made, completely nonsensical. It's got, as far as I can recall, it's okay, but it's not like really great. But Psychic is pretty good for a giallo, and everything's firing all sensors or all cylinders as far as that. Colt's asking well, when Synapse says they're not planning on to do a standard release, that's probably you can almost guarantee they are. I did bite and spend $50 on the steelbook of Central High. I got a steelbook. I guess that's my retirement, is my selling my steelbook. Red, Midnight Special or Fire in the Sky? Probably really good alien, type films. Midnight Special was pretty good as far as I know. It was pretty low budget, but I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to watch Universal monster movies all the time, but there are certain times that I really enjoy them, especially around October. I watch a lot of those. Well, DeadPit on Patreon sticking with us, and he's saying The Psychic is one of Fulci's best. Well, look at that! Wow, that's a bold statement from the big guy. Communion and Earth Girls Are Easy. Yeah?
I have a DVD of that.
Congratulations. DeadPit on Patreon, I think you're a big mark for Treasure of the Four Crowns. You can get the 3D Blu-ray for Kino for $19.99. That's right, balls. You can still get a steelbook of the 4K.
It's going to be releasing.
You can still get a steelbook of the Frankenstein 4K from Best Buy. I watched Hotel Fear the other day from Mondo Macabre, and it looks really good. But, man, I don't know if I really liked it or not. It's just the pacing and everything. What I think about how Anthropophagus, I liked it. I still like it. I think I like Absurd better, even though they say it's kind of a... it's not really a sequel, but they kind of act like sometimes it is. But I think it's pretty good. But yeah, I've been watching some of it from Joe Bob, and it takes a little bit before he shows up and gets crazy. Yeah, Hammer Horror is awesome. Have I seen Real Men? No, I can't recall unless you're talking about. I think that sounds like one of those. I think that sounds like a Jim Belushi, John Ritter movie. If that's what you're talking about, no. Each his own. I like Absurd because of, well, I rented it back. I got that big box, the Wizard video box, and underneath Demon Hunter, and I just thought it was cool. I liked it, and you got Perdue in there and stuff. It's just a fun movie. So I'm gonna let Dana take over for a little bit. Yeah, I wish I got that coffin set back in the day, but I got a coffin set of the Universal Monsters set from the UK that came out years ago. Hey, Dirk had the Real Man Great movie. Yeah. So Dana Lynn.
Yes, sir.
Here comes Dana Lynn for about 30 minutes or so.
Steve's restricting me this.
Yeah, you're limited
only.
to 30 minutes.
Did you tell everybody how much I spent on that?
Yeah.
Did they say, holy shit?
There's another set out there just like this, except it has Michael Myers and Loomis. But see, they got cloth outfits on this one. The other one, it's plastic.
We couldn't afford two $70s.
I wasn't going to afford any of it.
Well, Steve said he wasn't getting anything, but I got at least one because I'll tell you what, this, as if y'all hadn't seen this enough, but they only had one of these at the Target near our house, and they had like at least 3 of the one that came with Loomis and Michael Myers. So I'm kind of, tempting fate, I guess, by not buying both of them at the same time. But guys, I just didn't really. I haven't got my first full paycheck from the new job, so I wasn't really gonna spend $140 or so on both things. So what I told Steve was, we'll go back to Target after I get a full 2 weeks paycheck from the new job, and I'll see if they've still got some left. But hey, Chris V. Wes, you say I can reenact Halloween too with Ken and Barbie dolls. Yeah, Steve wanted to reenact some unsavory stuff with the figures over here, the Laurie Strode and Dr. Loomis. But I don't know. I guess what Steve said is right about these figures, because he said that
action figures.
I didn't say action figures, but you did. I said figures. But when we were buying like the single ones, like we got those from Walmart though.
Yeah.
I think they were like what, $30 for one, or 35 or something.
30-ish, yes.
Yeah. So I guess it makes sense in the grand scheme of things that if they're going to sell a 2-pack, it's going to be more expensive than just getting one of these. But it does have the cool pumpkin from the beginning of Halloween 2 that I always thought was really cool, the way Halloween 2 opens, and you see that pumpkin. And I think that was the pumpkin that was on the original artwork and the poster and stuff like that too. I don't know what Steve's back there looking for.
I'm looking for.
He has no organization whatsoever
I do.
Oh, so that's why you stand back there for hours trying to find a movie.
It's not an hour. I'm just there. I found it.
Paul, you want to know if Laurie Strode's wig is removable? I don't think it is, but to be honest, I think that the hair on the figure looks better than the actual wig on the movie. Yeah, we're gonna watch that in a little bit. But let's see. Yeah, Wes. I agree. like I just said, the wig, the wig or the hair on the figure looks better than in the movie. So, Colt, you say you're selling your entire horror VHS collection, all first releases, Evil Dead and Dawn of the Dead, Thorn EMI edition still sealed. Ooh, that's awesome. But I'm sorry that you're selling them. I mean, is it out of necessity that you're selling them, or is it just time to clean house and get rid of them? Because I'm hoping the second option is the case, and not, that out of necessity you're having to sell stuff. And Chris V, you say the Loomis figure looks like the Howling Kills version. What's going on here? Yeah, I guess he kind of does. I mean, there's something weird going on with the collar. I don't know. It looks like his head's getting ready to pop off. The head on this one is actually bigger than the head on the one that comes with Michael Myers. So I don't know what exactly is going on there. Hey, Darren. Yeah, I would say nice about that too. Sealed Thorn EMI releases, yeah. Colt, you say you had the tape since 1987. I had been offered 10 grand. Whoa, yeah, can't pass that up. Yeah, I don't think I could pass that up either. Wow, yeah. I'd sure like to take some of that stuff off your hands, Colt, but one thing, even with the new job, I don't think I'm going to have that kind of money. And two, Steve would kill me for getting more stuff to like take up room in the house. He's always fussing at me that I get too much stuff, and it just basically, I use everything that I get. It's not like I just buy stuff and it stays packaged up sitting around here and I never do anything with it. But if I don't get right back to something, like I got, when I was furloughed at the library, I thought I was going to be furloughed for 3 months. And it turned out I was only actually furloughed for a month, and then got asked to come back and work curbside. But anyway, when I first found out I was going to be furloughed, I was like, well, I want to have something to do. So I bought a couple of those messed up puzzles, and I got the Pieces one and the Maniac one. And so I had a card table, one of those foldable card tables, that I started working on the puzzle for. But, in my older age, my back, it starts hurting quite easily if I'm not sitting right or I'm bending over something. And it was just like, it was making it hard to work on the puzzle for long periods of time. So I ended up getting one of these slanted puzzle boards for 1,000-piece puzzles. And have I already talked for 30 minutes? Oh. And so I started using it for a little bit, but like, kind of work gets in the way sometimes, and then I haven't gotten to use it for a while. And Steve got on me because I hadn't used it for a while, and it was sitting back in the back room where the lizard and stuff is. So anyway,
if you're interested in watching that movie I was talking about, Vampire Ecstasy, it's on Tubi for free.
There's a lot of good stuff on Tubi, actually. Yeah, Texas, you could probably also make him the president from Escape from New York. Yeah, you sure could. Paul, you say I have to sell my stuff for holiday money. COVID has made me splurge in the last 2 years. Yeah. Coach, you say my uncle owned a video store. He closed it down in the early 90s, and you got it all. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. John, you say, LOL, NECA needs to put out the drunk bum from Escape from New York who steals the tracker watch. Red, you say it's a holiday for the ladies, but I treated myself to Jet Black Reserve and Citizen Jack cologne as well. Cool. I'm actually, I don't know if Steve mentioned anything about us going to see the new Doctor Strange movie a little bit earlier, but before we went to see the movie, which the movie's very good, by the way, and if you're a Sam Raimi fan, in addition to liking the Doctor Strange movies, I think you'll really enjoy it. But before we went to the movies, we had some lunch, and I wanted to go with Smoky Bones, and they had some new cocktails. And ended up getting a honey bear cocktail, which I want to say it had vodka in it and coconut rum and lemonade, a little honey, and some pineapple juice. And it also had a little, one of those things that looks kind of like a extra large toothpick or something. And it had 3 gummy bears stuck on it. And they had like a strawberry swizzle cocktail that I didn't try that had strawberry starburst, I guess, stuck on the little toothpick thing. And then there was a something that looked like an aquarium. It had nerds in the bottom that looks like the little rocks or whatever that you would have in an aquarium. Yeah, I'm a nerd. But it had those Swedish fish candies in there, and I'm not a fan of Swedish fish, so I didn't get that one. But I may try it at a later day if they still have them at Smoky Bones when we go again. I'll just take the Swedish fish out. Is there anybody in here that likes the Swedish fish candy? Maybe I'm just weird, or but I never have liked the taste of those. I just don't feel like they have a really good candy taste. But Chris V, you say Steve looks like those gummies kicking in. Steve,
No.
did you eat a gummy?
Have I what?
Did you eat one of those gummies?
Have I had one?
Yes.
No.
Okay, well, Chris V said Steve looks like those gummies kicking in.
I still haven't bought any more.
Steve doesn't need to buy any more for a while. Are you going to eat one now? I hope he did. You eat it? I hope he didn't have another one earlier, because first time he had 2, he got out of his head. So I tell him he can't have 2 anymore at one time. And I haven't had any since I had that one. Just because, like I said, I was afraid I was going to, have a panic attack or something. And I, really don't like not being in control of everything. And the couple of times that I've gotten really wasted on alcohol, it was like that, plus the fact that I was sick and throwing up and couldn't walk upright and all kinds of things. I didn't like that either. So, that's the big reason why I will never do, like I did with the alcohol. I mean, I'll drink it, but I'm not going to overdo it. And that's probably why I will never partake of the gummies again, just because I really didn't know what to expect. I was never a person that smoked marijuana. I have been exposed to the smoke from joints, but not, I did not smoke it myself. I was offered it, but I did not wish to do that. So anyway, Apollos, you say can't invite the family around when Steve recommends a movie. Yeah, you definitely cannot, Apollos, because Steve, I heard him recommending that Sadness movie to you guys. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't like the Sadness movie. I'm just saying that it might not be everybody's cup of tea, because there was some stuff in that movie that I like the over the top gore and stuff. What I didn't like, and I'll say this like I've always said, I'm not a prude, but when you start mixing um, sex and gore, and I'm not saying that they had a sex scene, a normal sex scene, and then they had a gory scene. I'm saying that there were people covered in blood screwing. Um, like I said the last time I was talking about that movie, a guy, I know it was implied, but I knew what was supposed to be going on in the movie. The guy basically took out his penis and tried to screw a girl's open eye socket with his penis. So I'm just not. I understand the Asian market. I guess is that's something that is acceptable in their movies. Um, it's just not something I like to see a lot of, and that's the only drawback to the Sadness movie, was I felt like it had a little bit too much of that. Maybe one scene, but I just think they kind of ran it in the ground a little bit. I mean, you could have had over the top gore all over the place, and it would have been fine with me. But watching people screwing covered in blood and things like that, it's just not my thing. Um, but overall, the movie was good. Um, Chris V, you said Swedish fish are good, but I feel like they're gonna pull my filling out. Ooh, yeah. Well, I told y'all what happened when I was just eating plain chocolate. My crown came out, and of course they couldn't put the crown back. They said. I wanted to ask, why did you even make me go through the miserable time of having a root canal done and putting this crown on and charging me for said crown, if you pretty well knew it wasn't going to stay. That seems ridiculous. So now I got a hole in my mouth where I'm eventually going to have an implant put in. And I've got what they call a temporary partial or a healing partial, that is supposed to help, but I haven't really used it. And Steve says it's a waste of money, because he said basically you paid $450 excuse me, for something that excuse me, guys, something that you don't really need, because that's a back tooth that's missing. So, but that's me. Um, let's see. Apology said, what percentage of Doctor Strange is Raimi as opposed to Marvel? In my opinion, Apollo's almost everything had Raimi's stamp on it. I just, I mean, other than the Doctor Strange character and the Scarlet Witch character and stuff like that, which is clearly Marvel, the rest of the stuff, see, even though if you're a person that reads the comics, this stuff that they talk about, like the book that had what did they call it? The Dark something or other. I forgot now. Um, Even though that stuff has been said to be in the comics, or it's clearly part of the comic book universe, um, I still think that even that stuff has Raimi's stamp on it, and the creatures. Even though we watched something when we got home, a video this guy had done on YouTube, where this guy talks about the movies and talks about the Easter eggs and all that. He clearly said that this stuff was from the comics, but again, it seemed to have Raimi's stamp on it. And I think he did a really good job with this, and he was able to more along the lines of his early stuff, like his Evil Dead stuff and things like that. When he made the Spider-Man movies, I don't feel like at that point they gave him the freedom to put his stamp all over things, like to kind of sneak these little Evil Dead things in there. And probably because Spider-Man was a whole different type of movie than this Doctor Strange movie. This, in my opinion, was if Sam Raimi was going to do a comic book movie or a Marvel movie or whatever you want to call it, I think this was the perfect movie to have him do. I wish he could have started out doing a movie like that. So, but that's just my opinion. Brett, were you referring to my sneezes when you said your best hippopotamus toys? I know my sneezes. If that's what you're referring to, my sneezes are kind of crazy. My granny, my mom's mom, when she would sneeze, she always sounded like she was screaming when she sneezed. So, yeah. So people have all kinds of weird, noises that they make when they sneeze. Apology, say he was just trying to give her an eye opening experience, I guess. But it just, like I said, there's nothing inherently wrong with the movie. It's just that just wasn't my cup of tea. Let's see. Jared, you said bless you. Thank you. Coach, you say, I have seen all Raimi films, but not interested in Strange at all. See, I liked the first Doctor Strange movie. And that Raimi didn't even have anything to do with that one. So I like the character of Doctor Strange. And then, so this, having Raimi attached to this second movie really kind of gave me a bonus, because I already like Doctor Strange and I like movies about him. So then I got the added bonus of Raimi taking the helm with this particular one and getting to add all his well, like I said, adding his stamp. And you definitely feel Sam Raimi's presence all over this movie, from the camera work to creatures and music and everything. Even though Danny Elfman was the one that did the music, but I think Danny Elfman did some of the music, if not all the music, for Army of Darkness. Which I could definitely, as far as musical cues, I could definitely get that Army of Darkness feeling during this movie. So, let's see. Coach, you say A Simple Plan is his biggest sleeper. I love The Simple Plan. I need to really, it's been a few years since I have watched it. I really need to go back and watch it. I was pleasantly surprised by that movie. I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting a lot with that movie the first time I watched it. And then as I watched it and the plot got more and more complicated, and I'm not saying got complicated in a bad way. It got complicated in a way that just kept me going through the entire film. So I think he was a good choice to take the helm for that movie as well. And I also liked For Love of the Game, even though it was about baseball, and I primarily it was about baseball, and I don't really have any interest in sports like that, baseball, basketball, football, stuff like that. But again, the story was so good in For Love of the Game, and a lot of you guys might not be interested in it, but I think at the core of that movie was relationships. It wasn't all about baseball. It was also about this baseball player's relationship, on and off relationship with this woman throughout the movie, and the ups and downs they had and all of that. So again, I could see a lot of you guys not really appreciating a movie like that because you guys don't want to watch movies about relationships. You want to watch a movie with some action, or in your guys' case, some horror. And, For Love of the Game's not really that type of movie. But again, I think Sam Raimi did a good job with it. Apollos, you say Spider-Man 2 has a great Evil Dead sequence with Dr. Octopus, though. Yes, you are right about that, Apollos. But, of course, I tend to forget some of that stuff sometimes because it's been a while since I've seen Spider-Man 2. Chris V, you say A Simple Plan is so good. It is. It really, for me, it's one of those movies that works on so many levels. I haven't really heard Steve talk about A Simple Plan, so I don't know how he feels about that movie, but I really enjoy it. Yes, Cody did The Gift, which The Gift, although not my favorite Raimi film, of course the Evil Dead movies are going to be my favorite Raimi film or film series. I did like The Gift and enjoyed watching it, but basically, and I haven't seen Oz the Great and Powerful or whatever the Oz movie was that Sam Raimi did. I have yet to see that one, and I've heard two schools of thought on that. Some people say it's good. Some people say you're not missing anything if you don't watch it. But I still would like to watch it at some point. I just have not got around to it. And who knows, Steve could have it on a hard drive somewhere. I'm not sure. And y'all were talking about Evil Dead Rising earlier. That is something that I've heard in passing about. But again, I don't know. It's kind of like, I think they waited too long to do another Evil Dead movie. And as much as I would want an Evil Dead movie, I think the time has come and gone for it. Because, number one, Bruce Campbell's too old now. And Bruce Campbell has expressed absolutely no interest in playing the Ash character beyond what he did in Ash versus the Evil Dead. So, you're going to take Bruce Campbell out of the equation. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong on this. But I equivocate this with the time that passed between the last Phantasm movie that Don Coscarelli made and Phantasm Ravager, who Coscarelli did not direct. He pretty much gave his blessing for it, but he did not direct it. The fact that Angus Scrimm was much older and sick at the time, it just didn't, I will probably watch it again at some point, but that was a movie that made me very sad, because they had Reggie Bannister in an old folks home, and supposedly he was suffering from dementia and all this stuff. It's like, what? I mean, why would you do this? And it just, and the fact that I knew that Angus Scrimm was pretty, feeble and sick at the time that they were filming a lot of the stuff, and then, it just, for me, did not have the magic of the old Phantasm films. And so, like, I thought the time had come and gone for them to make a new Phantasm movie. I think the time has come and gone for them to make a new Evil Dead movie. I think they should just let it go now. I would have loved there to have been an Evil Dead 4 years ago. But Sam Raimi evidently was not in a position where he, one, wanted to do it, or two, had the time to do it, or both. So I don't know. I will probably give it a chance, but it's not way up there on my list of things that I'm looking forward to. Let's see. Colt, you say he is very talented, not stuck in horror. He was able to do all kinds of films. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, but you say agreed it was good to end it with Army. Pablo, you say spot on, Dana. They all need to move on. Well, yeah, no matter how big a fan you are of some of this stuff, sometimes it's better just to move on and let bygones be bygones, and just let the series live on in our memory as being a great series, instead of having something limp along. I thought Phantasm Ravager pretty much limped along. There were too many. I don't want to say problems. There were too many issues. Angus Scream couldn't help it because he was, much older and sick. But did we really need to see that up on the screen? No, I don't think so. Do we need to see a Reggie Bannister character that was pretty much stuck in a nursing home most of the time, and Mike coming to see him, and he was sitting there in a robe and like in a wheelchair or whatever, and it's like, and then sometimes he was laying in bed, and I was just like, this is not the Reggie I remember. And the effects weren't that great. The giant spheres, I'm talking about the gigantic spheres in Phantasm Ravager, all that stuff just did not work for me. And honestly, it did not feel like a Phantasm film. And I'm afraid the same thing is going to happen with a new Evil Dead film. But that's just my opinion. Let's see. Koji say now it's just about money. Yeah, sadly, a lot of things are all about money. Pablo, you say why not Crime Wave 2? I don't know. Could they make a Crime Wave 2? I think probably the time is come and gone for there to be a Crime Wave 2, because I think Crime Wave was one of those, I don't know, I don't really want to call it an oddball film, but and it wasn't lightning in a bottle either, because it wasn't that great of a film. I enjoy it because of the slapstick humor and all that stuff, and the Sam Raimi stamp on it, and you see familiar faces like Bruce Campbell, and I believe Ted might be in there too, but I could be wrong. Apologies say, make a Bubba Hotep sequel where Elvis comes across the Necronomicon. Yeah, Colt, I had heard that Bruce Campbell had a falling out with Don. I don't know the specifics of it, and I don't know what happened, honestly. Maybe somebody else does, but I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that Bruce Campbell and Don Coscarelli would have a falling out. Both of those guys seem so laid back. I don't really know what could have happened to make them do that. Pablo, you say, yeah, lots of money, tons of DVD and Blu-ray Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Pablo, you say Don seems weird too. Well, I met Don Coscarelli a few years, well, several years back now, at a convention and had him sign my original Phantasm Sphere, which I ended up having Angus Scrimm sign, Michael Baldwin signed, Bill Thornberry signed, Reggie Bannister signed it. So I pretty much had all the big people associated with the Phantasm movie, with the exception of Lady in Lavender, which I was, by the time I got everybody else's autograph, I was kind of broke. So even if I had really, really wanted to, I probably wouldn't have been able to afford the Lady in Lavender. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get her now, but you know, it is what it is. So, Paul, you said he just remakes Evil Dead each time. Coat, you say, I loved it in the early 90s when Evil Dead was very hard to find and only cool horror fans knew about it. Now it's becoming Star Wars boring. Yeah, Cole, I'd brought this up about like zombie movies too. Like prior to The Walking Dead, and I'm not saying that I did not love The Walking Dead when it first came on. Like the first couple of seasons for me were the ones that I really enjoyed, and then I tuned out after the third season. But I think part of what made me tune out of that was the fact that zombies were becoming cool. It was and I've said this before, I'll say it again. I love zombie films and the idea of zombies when they were on the fringes, when it was uncool to like them, when we were the kind of the outliers that liked, Romero zombies and stuff like that. Now you see them in commercials and everything. It's like, this is not right. And then when it seemed like about that time that zombies started becoming so commercial and everybody and their mother was loving zombies, and housewives were watching The Walking Dead, and all the people from Walking Dead, even that annoying kid, he was a kid when Walking Dead started. I never did like him. Rick's kid. I never did like that kid. He just seemed so annoying. But he was showing up at conventions. He got all these little teeny bopper girls waiting to meet this kid. It's like, talk about getting a swelled head. I bet he did. So it just, about that time is when the Romero zombie movies just, I don't know really what instigated it. I don't know if it was, because I didn't ever really think of George Romero as a Hollywood guy, a guy that sold out and went out to Hollywood and did his thing there, because I don't feel like he really did. But I think there was some studio interference. I just feel like there was studio interference the last few Dead films that Romero made. And it just destroyed that franchise for me. I didn't like Diary of the Dead. I don't even think I saw the last Dead movie, just because Diary of the Dead and let's see, how many were after Diary of the Dead? I can't even remember now. And I just said I wanted to stick to the stuff that I loved growing up, which started with the original Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, and even Tom Savini's remake of Night of the Living Dead and Night of the Living Dead 90. I even enjoyed that and enjoyed what Tom Savini did with that. But you're talking about Tom Savini, one of the greatest special makeup effects guys ever, who worked very closely with George Romero in the early days. So I think it was only fitting that he do the remake, and I think he did an excellent job with it. let's see. Pablo, you say true, cool guy. Apology, say I didn't realize until recently that Don Coscarelli directed most of Silver Bullet, but left because Dino De Laurentiis skimped on the budget, especially for the werewolf. I guess I didn't catch that, Apollo, so I'm going to have to look into that further. Um, you say, I am sad we never got a true Elm Street sequel with England when he could still do it. Freddy versus Jason doesn't count. Yeah, I agree too with that. And I've talked about this before. The really shitty way they treated Kane Hodder when they made Freddy versus Jason, that was extremely shitty. I cannot forgive that. And I don't think Kane Hodder can forgive it. I think over time he's mellowed about it, but I could completely understand him being terribly upset. You're talking about a guy that played Jason several times in the series. And that was really the only time that happened in Friday the 13th. When Kane Hodder came on board, he was Jason. And I remember reading those first interviews in Fangoria and Gore Zone with Kane Hodder. They said he was Jason Voorhees. Even though he wasn't the first Jason, Ari Lehman was technically the first Jason. But Kane Hodder is the one that stuck with it and kind of made that character his own. And they just basically just tried to sweep him under the rug and just stick somebody else in there after letting Kane Hodder believe that he was going to be in Freddy vs. Jason. He got the damn script and everything. And then all of a sudden, oh, sorry, we're going with somebody else. That is really shitty. Coach, you say years ago I read Reggie has major health problems and he fell. Wonder if he was sick making that last film. And yeah, he could have been, Colt. I know when I finally got to meet Reggie Bannister, he seemed quite a bit more feeble than when I had seen him on earlier interviews. But I will say that both he and his wife were on the last drive-in. Gosh, was it a year or two ago? 1 year runs into the other now. But the Christmas episode, I think, where Joe Bob showed the Phantasm films, and he had Reggie and his wife on there, and I thought Reggie looked, he looked pretty good there. So maybe his health has improved over time, or maybe not. But he looked pretty good on the last drive-in. Red Reggie say, I might be the only person who thinks the Phantasm and Evil Dead films are overrated. Well, I doubt that, Red, and you're perfectly entitled to your opinion, and I actually like it when people express that opinion. It doesn't make me angry. I think Curly Jaws has said that Halloween is overrated, which, I don't agree with it, but I'm perfectly fine with somebody saying that and not being afraid to, say what they feel. So, yeah, that's a perfect, in my opinion, that's a perfectly acceptable statement. Cole, you say, yeah, zombies are boring now. Give me Romero's and the first Return of the Living Dead any day. Yes, Return of the Living Dead, yeah, I mean, that's still when zombies were on the fringes, and it really seemed like to me, and I could be totally wrong on this, but when The Walking Dead really kicked into high gear was when things just really fell apart. And I wanted to stick with the Walking Dead series, but now they got Fear the Walking Dead and everything else and the other, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It just makes me shake my head. Colchi say Resident Evil games. I like. I don't like the movies based on the game Resident Evil, but I like the Resident Evil games, but I suck at them, which is why I don't play them anymore. Uh, but generally, I don't like, and this is a personal preference, I don't like movies based on video games. Um, and like I said, that's a personal preference. And if you guys like them, then yeah, I'm totally cool with that. And Cole, you say, when I was in high school, nobody watched zombie films. And when those games came out, all my friends wanted to watch them. Yeah, um, unfortunately, that's the way it goes a lot of times. Or, in recent years, that's the way it's been. Uh, Darren, you say that new Ted Raimi slasher looks interesting. The Quarry 2022 looks like a slasher by the trailer. I think I heard about that, Darren, but I don't think I've seen the trailer yet. I'm gonna have to look it up. Uh, Maybe there's one on YouTube or something that I can take a look at. Colt, you say I think that started the zombie craze, Resident Evil. It probably started us down that path. And then, when you had things like The Walking Dead, that just added insult to injury and poured salt in the wound that was already there. Yeah, there were, there were a lot of different factors that were kind of working against the zombie films by that point. Um, Darren, you say I don't think I ever want to see a newer zombie film ever again. Yeah, Darren, I'm with you there. I I would just much rather go back and watch the old stuff and just kind of try to pretend this newer stuff doesn't exist, um, which is kind of hard because it's thrown in your face all the time now. Um, but that's what I try to do anyway. I go back to the old Romero stuff and watch it and just try to, wipe the mind clean of any of this newer stuff that's kind of dirtied the waters, muddied up the waters a little bit. Uh, Colt, you say I may be crazy, but I think Return of the Living Dead is the best zombie film. No, you're not crazy, Colt. I could definitely see people um, gravitating towards that, especially if you're a person that likes. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I was going to say, especially if you're a person that likes humor mixed in with their horror, which I do at times too, and that's why I like Return of the Living Dead. Um, I'll be honest with you guys though, I don't. I've seen Return of the Living Dead too, but I feel like, and I may take some flack for this, but I feel like that was an unnecessary film, because it was basically Return of the Living Dead, only they switched things around. Um, so that's why I feel like it was unnecessary. Um, Darren, you say, give me Burial Ground, Nights of Terror all day long. Okay, Burial Ground is one of those crazy ass films that you can definitely have a lot of fun with. Um, I was just sitting here thinking when you mentioned that I don't know if Steve and I have ever done a commentary for that. Do any of you guys remember us ever doing a commentary for Burial Ground? Because if we haven't, I don't know why we haven't, and that's maybe we could do a watch along for that, because I told Steve that we need to get on that student bodies thing, because I know some of you guys wanted us to do a watch along for student bodies, which I think would be a lot of fun. Um, Salt and Blood, you say you're a huge Romero fan. I am too. I fortunately I got to meet Romero before he passed away. Um, And he was one of the big ones for me. I was just so excited to be able to get to meet him. And Romero was reserved, but he was very, very nice. And I was able to get his autograph and get a picture with him. And I don't believe the picture was extra, of course. And so that was enjoyable for me. You know, I wish that I had gotten to meet Wes Craven and Toby Hooper and people like that. I've also met Sean Cunningham, which was a big deal for me as well. So, let's see. Colt, you say two sucked. Well, you know, I'm not going to go so far to say it sucked. I just think it was unnecessary. I guess Steve's coming back here because he's thinking it's going to...
Wrap it up, baby.
Okay. Well, we got in this big discussion about Romero films and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to have Steve cut this thing off here in a minute or so we can watch the movie that we're going to be discussing with Darren tomorrow. But let's see. Let me go through some more of these comments. Darren, you say Day of the Dead, I think is my favorite. I enjoy Day of the Dead, but I would probably have to say Dawn of the Dead is probably my favorite of those original three. I really like Night of the Living Dead, but Steve doesn't care for it. But I think you like Dawn of the Dead, don't you, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to go through these last few comments. Apologies say horror used to be about the fear of the unknown in the outside world and in ourselves. Now we think we know everything and we are bored of existence, hence the popularity of zombies. That is a very, in a lot of ways, true statement, Apollos, and I would agree with that. Coach, you say Burial Ground is my fave Italian one. Yeah, Burial Ground is just, like I said, a crazy-ass fun film, and it's got Peter Bark in it. So how could you not like it? Red, you said that'd be cool if King and Carpenter bought the rights to Creepshow to make a fourth film. Romero can't. Yeah, I would like to see... that would be cool to see what they could do with a fourth Creepshow film. Or we could just forget about that awful Creepshow 3 and just make their own Creepshow 3. Coach, you say I met Romero and he liked my Return of the Living Dead shirt and said he actually likes the film. Yeah, I think I had heard Romero say that he liked that film as well. Coach, you say you met Toby Hooper. He's a big druggie. Yeah, I got the idea that Toby Hooper seemed like a really mellow guy, and I think he was partaking of certain substances. But I still would have liked to have met him before he passed away, unfortunately. Let's see. Texas, you say, I went to high school with the girl who gets paperclipped to death in student bodies. Oh, that's awesome, Texas. I remember that scene. Apology, say you mean third Creepshow. There is no Creepshow 3.
Yeah, not really.
Well, I thought they called that Creepshow 3.
They did, but it's not in the same vein. It's crap.
Yeah, I know it's crap.
But
I thought they did call it Creepshow 3, though.
They did, I think.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to argue with anybody about it.
But, I mean, at least as far as I remember it.
Silent Blood, you say Tales from the Dark Side movie is Creepshow 3. I would agree with that. That's more like a Creepshow 3 than the other movie was. Darren, you say, I'm going to put on 5 Dolls on again in a bit. Yeah, me and Steve are getting ready to watch that. You have a good night, Darren, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye, Colt. And I think with that being said, I am going to have Steve come back here and cut this thing off, but I've had I had a good time chatting with you guys, and we got into some good discussions. And I like everything everybody brought up, and it gives me more chances to blab. And but I'm going to say good night for tonight, and I'll talk to everybody next time. Hopefully on my own channel. Steve's turned off the light, but I'm going to let Steve take us out here.
Good night, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Darcy, you stay in your bed, little girl. You're in your bed.